Well, hello there. What's up, Sublustrous? How's it going, man? It's me and Steph hanging out. Time to play some
Hey everybody.
ES2. Doodle
Yeah,
Goop, what's up?
I have a very important question for you regarding our ES2.
Oh, I'm ready for
Yeah.
it. What is it?
Did you remember to apply the patch before the stream?
Yes, I did. Yes, I did. Yeah.
Because I actually had to give Steam a little bit of a kick and tell it to validate the game files before
okay.
it actually downloaded the patch.
Yeah. Yeah, mine just went right off the bat. So it's nice. Yes, if you guys didn't know, there is a patch live for this game right now.
Yes, I have been waiting for this day for so long.
For a little while now.
Yeah.
But yeah. Yeah, Doodle Goop. If you go to our Twitter account or if you go straight to Games Together, we have a blog post up on it with some patch notes and just a message. Took you a while.
And Sublisters, I'm still on that whole lore rewrite thing as well, but that's probably not for one of the first patches we release.
Yeah. So it's a series of patches that will be released within the next couple months, yeah? Steph?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. We don't have an exact ETA for the next one yet because, making games is complicated. So I don't want to, say too much about the date and the contents of the next patch before I actually have some content of the next patch that I know actually works.
Exactly. Salterius, you don't bless the memes upon this stream. Okay.
I mean, come on, Salterius, don't be like that. Just for today, to celebrate the patch, you could bless us.
And it's Canada Day. You gotta bless the memes on Canada Day. But thanks for the heads up. No problem, man. Oscar, what's up? How are you, man? Okay, you can have a little bless. Okay. Yeah.
Can I bless the stream with no critical bugs, please? Sakana, we may need that blessing. After all, we are playing on an old save game, and as every strategy gamer knows, playing old save games on new patches can be a bit risky.
Yeah. So, we'll hope for the best. We'll cross our fingers. Is there a crossing fingers emoji? I don't know. But if so, use it. Canada's not real, Rogan. I'm sorry. It was all a dream. Honestly, that might be true. For all I know. I haven't seen it in so long. Stream seems back at last. What was last week? We weren't, we streamed Endless Legend last week. We didn't stream on Wednesday because there was something going around called the Twitch blackout on Wednesday, where some streamers weren't streaming, so we thought we'd honor that on that day. Samal, what's up? Okay, so what the heck were we doing last stream? So I know we were building a bunch of ships. We have hardened alloys over here so that we can were we trying to get a new hull for our ships? Basic bomber, basic fighter.
We were trying to get a lot of stuff, I think.
Yeah, I think so. Poor choices. Yes, exactly, Saikana. That's pretty much in every decision that we make in this playthrough. Hey, how is Amplitude doing? I've noticed that there haven't been a new game or DLC for a while. Personally, I'm hungry for that strategy goodness. Well, Fernando on YouTube, our new title, Humankind, is due for release next year. So you can go to YouTube.
If you're hungry for that strategy goodness, you should go to Games Together and check. There's a blog about something called Open Dev, which is your chance to try the new game for free, starting at some point this month, I think.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly.
My brain is still processing that it's now July.
Yeah, yeah, no kidding. How fast and at the same time slow has this year gone by? I feel like. For that period that we were very quarantined, it went by so slow. But now we're here somehow. I don't know how that happened. Where did this July? Yeah, exactly.
It's nuts.
Yeah, time, people. It's random fireworks month here. Oh, right. A couple fireworks days. I'm so paranoid. My enrollment didn't go through and I missed something. Your enrollment? Sorry, did I miss a comment?
I think they mean the sign up for OpenDev.
Oh, for OpenDev. Doodle goop. It went.
Unless he's talking about enrolling in university.
Yes. For OpenDev.
I also understand that kind of panic.
Samal,
for me, the panic was usually, oh, I hope I remember to include every last one of those many documents they want.
Right. Yeah, exactly.
Because, bureaucracy. I mean, you've experienced the French one.
Yes.
And the German one is kind of similar.
Oh, really? They like their documents. They like their paper.
So many documents you need. Usually it's at least clear where you need to go, but then, it's not always clear which forms you need to fill out.
Right. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, well, I am not looking for. I have to renew my visa pretty soon, and I am not looking forward to that at all.
Yeah, I can believe that. I'm happy that I don't need visas.
Yeah, no kidding.
I mean, at least not to be here.
Right. Yeah. By the way, everybody, if you don't have Endless Space 2 or Endless Legend or any of the DLCs on Steam right now, because everything is on sale, that includes Amplitude games. So I think it's up to 75% off.
It's the summer sale. I have to, not look at Steam.
Yeah.
Or it would hit me right in the wallet.
No kidding. Is there anything you're looking for?
I already picked up some stuff.
Oh yeah? What'd you pick up?
Yeah, I actually picked up, one of the ones we had talked about recently that has been on my list, the Return to the Obra Dinn, or what was it called?
Oh yeah, nice. I recently played that.
I mean, I only basically picked that one up because, when I bought the game, I was in the process of buying it. Told me, oh, by the way, if you spend $10 more, then you get €5 off. So I'm like, yeah, sure.
Gotta do it.
I mean, in the end, I wanted to buy the game anyway, so $5 saved is $5 saved.
Yeah.
So, because I actually was buying Deep Rock Galactic, which I've heard a lot of good things about, and then I actually watched some reviews, and it looked pretty interesting, and I tried it out, and the best way to describe it is, I guess, Left 4 Dead, the co-op shooter meets Red Faction Destruction by way of Dwarf Fortress Dwarves.
Wow.
So the whole level is destructible, and the actual objective is usually you go there to mine stuff, but then these insect things start attacking you, and so you and your 3 mates have to fight them off while simultaneously digging deeply and greedily.
Right. Wow. Okay. Well, anything related to Dwarf Fortress or similar to Dwarf Fortress, you're on board with.
I mean, it's correct? Of course not as crazy in the procedural stories as Dwarf Fortress, but the personality of the dwarves in the game is very much in line with what the dwarves are. Like, playing solo, mining some ore, and suddenly my character remarks, "Oh yeah, sometimes I wonder if mining is all there is to life." Then I punch myself in the nose.
Sublustrous, happy Canada Day. Man, happy Canada Day. Heck yeah. Oh, Canada. You got it in your spam folder. Oh, the confirmation email. Yes. So some people were saying that they got it in their spam folder. So if you look there, it might be just hiding. It might be playing a bit of peekaboo. So check on over there.
So did you pick up anything on the Steam sale so far?
I haven't, honestly. And I want to pick up... what's that game called? Kentucky
Route Zero.
Yes,
that's another one I've heard is very good.
Yes. So I want to pick up that one. I didn't check if it was on sale yet, but I'll look into that. You've never played it?
No, I have not played it yet myself, but it's another one of those on my list.
Yeah.
My long, never-ending list of all the media I intend to consume.
Yes, exactly.
There's not enough time. I did pick up one other game. It's called Brigador, which is like a top-down, mostly mech game.
Okay.
Kind of twin-stick shooter, but kind of not.
Nice.
Because they've changed it so that the default control is screen absolute, but since it has directional damage, like weaker armor in the back and stuff like that, the original control scheme was actually what's called tank control scheme, where you look down, but A and D turn your vehicle instead of moving left and right on screen.
Okay.
It was apparently because that was not what people were expecting from the trailer.
Right.
They got some pretty bad reception originally, but it's actually quite fun when you take that into account, that it's not designed to be the normal twin stick shooter. It's way more tactical. Like you have like smoke screens and stuff to hide and stuff like that.
Right.
And it's like super hardcore cyberpunk setting, as in the corporation is paying you as a mercenary to wreak havoc on the city after the rebel leader has died, so that they can afterwards swoop in as the saviors to reestablish control.
Oh, whoa. That's pretty cool.
Yeah. But I bought it and I started downloading and said, oh yeah, this game needs like 2-point-something gigabyte. But it's all 2D graphics. Why is it so big? And then I looked at it and I was like, oh yeah, the actual game's 400 megabytes. And then there's like 2 gigabyte of high-def soundtrack and like an actual audio book that comes with it.
Whoa. Oh my god. That's pretty awesome though.
All of that was part because I bought the deluxe edition, because I had heard the music in the reviews and I did think it was pretty cool, but I had underestimated how big the soundtracks are when they're the high definition soundtracks you get through Steam.
Yeah, exactly. What about you, chat? What are you guys picking up in the Steam sale? Anybody got anything on their mind? I just beat The Last of Us Part 2. I won't talk about it. No spoilers, obviously.
Mr. Bliss is saying list of shame. Yes. Yes, that is an apt name for my list of media I want to consume.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, part of my problem is really that when I say consume, I not really mean consume in the way many other people do. I remember way back when I was talking to an acquaintance about, what was I reading at the time? I think I was reading To Android's Dream of Electric Sheep.
Okay.
And I started reading
it. Blade Runner, right?
Yes, exactly. Yeah. Well, it's the inspiration for Blade Runner.
Right.
Like, the movie is definitely based on it, but it tackles some different themes and like skips some plot points and has others instead.
Right.
I mean, they're both masterpieces, but for once there's a reason why the movie is not named the same as the book.
Right.
But and I just started reading it, and I was on like chapter 2 or 3 maybe, and then he found a copy. I'm not even sure if he bought it or he just got an ebook or something.
Okay.
And then, like a day after, he's like, yeah, you know that ending. I'm like, whoa, slow down there.
Yeah. yeah.
He's like, I don't read a whole book in one day. And he's like, yeah, but why not? Why read slowly? And because I'm enjoying the reading. I'm
Yeah.
like taking in all of the writing and the nuances and like thinking about it and stuff like that. And the difference between his consumption and mine is that I read that book like, wait, let's see, how long ago did I study? Yeah, 10 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
And I still remember like many parts from it quite clearly, whereas I'm pretty sure that if I brought up some of the characters to him now, he wouldn't recall them.
Yeah. I'm generally, I would say I'm a slower reader just because I really do like to like paint a picture in my head. I don't just want to like skim over
That's the
details.
thing. I want to lose myself in the book. I want to reading or watching a movie or a show or something is when you do it an active pastime because you are engaging with the content.
Yeah.
If I read diagonally, as people say, skim across the page, what's the point of reading the book at all? I can read the clip notes if I read like that.
Yeah. Okay. Cafalore on YouTube, The Witcher 2, Civ 5. Mind you, I'm also buying new stuff. Hooked up to this. You have a toaster hooked up to your screen. Oh. Yeah. I know, it's hard. Sometimes you just... You know what? During these Steam sales, you buy a bunch of stuff and then you realize, I also need to upgrade my graphics card and my motherboard and my CPU and pretty much everything in my computer.
Yeah, for me it's like, I really want to upgrade my graphics card. But anything bigger than what I have doesn't fit on my motherboard.
Right.
The PSU in my PC would not supply enough power for anything more powerful.
Right. Yeah.
I can't put a faster processor on the... Well, I guess maybe a little bit of an upgrade would be possible, but not much.
Yeah.
I have about as much RAM as I can slot on this motherboard, so basically I just need to replace the entire thing, and then you're quickly at like, if I want the PC that lasts me a while, I need to spend like 3,000 euro.
Right, yeah, no, exactly. It's so expensive. Couple people saying they bought Middle-earth: Shadow of War. How is that game? I've heard pretty good things, but what always kept me from playing it was that they said it wasn't canon. And I don't know, sometimes I'm just like, I don't know if I want to play a non-canon.
No, I think... I mean, from what I heard, the experience is a bit tighter in Shadow of Mordor than it was in Shadow of War.
Okay, yeah.
But a lot of that feedback was from before they had removed, the randomized drops of orcs, so to speak.
Right.
And rebalanced things, so it might be different now.
Okay, so we're stopped over here. We can send down a couple probes in a little bit. Love the game. I can get a world generator.
Also, regarding your question about the influence on the Morgauer, you will probably have to take that to G2G so we can get the Loremeister to answer that, because I don't know.
Silver Luke, what's up, man? Welcome. Path of Exile developed beyond my CPU. Damn. Yeah, that always sucks. But you know what? Then you get to treat yourself to a new CPU, which is actually kind of not like an awesome gift at face value. But then when you throw it in your computer, boom. So far, my current machine will run Humankind.
But also, they haven't rebalanced it at all. From what I had heard, they had, done a cursory rebalancing. Like, it wasn't a huge rebalancing effort, but they had, changed some of the XP you need and stuff like that. Generally, just lowered values, so to speak.
Too close to Shadow of Mordor, in my opinion. Okay, Shadow Star. Worst story, terrible fourth act, meant to milk microtransactions. Yeah. Yeah, that's always a bummer when you when you find that. I remember, they had a bit of a a bit of a stir for microtransactions.
Those things when a lot of people like to say, oh, it's just convenience, but these kind of XP boosters or something like that,
Right.
they do affect the balancing.
Yeah. Totally.
So, and you don't get the choice of opting out of a longer grind.
Please no microtransactions in humankind. So.
Does Jeff enjoy the endless memes? Well, I think in general, yes. There are probably 2 exceptions that he doesn't enjoy.
Okay. So what are the exceptions?
The memes about the Lumeris leader and the memes about the Vojani leader.
Oh, okay.
I will not go into more details than that.
Do we want to send the Argosy anywhere? Is there... I remember we were talking about this last stream, but... it's on Juyin right now.
It is on... I have no idea how to pronounce this.
Yeah, exactly. That's me with pretty much like half the systems in this game. And then you ask Jeff, and he goes, "No clue."
Yep.
That's up to you. So maybe. Where do you see? We have 5 of 8 colonized systems. So we could go down a bit. Do we just want to try and get the biggest systems, do you think? Like try and go for ones with 4 or 5?
Yeah, well, I mean, I like big systems and I cannot lie.
Yeah, well, there you go. That's
we
enough.
also need to consider, like strategic positioning or strategic resources.
Yeah, exactly. Because it looks like we're a little parsed out here in these sort of middle systems. And then we got our 3 OG systems, which are just at the end of this little lane.
Could you zoom in again on ESA? It was slightly to the lower right of the center of the galaxy.
Lower right of the center of the galaxy. ESA. Oh, okay, yep. Colonizable, medium desert, small lava, large toxic, large arid.
I mean, it's at least a 4-planet system.
That's true.
Do we have anomalies here we could maybe search first to see if there are valuable resources?
There are... there's a life form, a ruins, and another ruins. Oh, anomalies, you said.
Yeah, no, I meant the curiosities.
Okay. So we can send it there, I guess? See what's up at ESA? Let's do that. Let's go to Mira. Zip on over. Sakisaka, what's up? How are you? Back off.
Also, Asimiko, there is really nothing I can reply to that message because half of the things you wrote, I'm not even sure what you're referring to, which may just be an issue of translating the terms you've seen in Russian into English. Though I do disagree about the diplomacy not working as intended, because I have been quite successful in making alliances in the endless games if I treat my neighbors right. You have to keep in mind, we could probably show that off, that the different AIs have personalities. If you go into the diplomacy screen.
Yep.
And go to any of the leaders, really, and then open the details.
Are you back as friend or foe? Speak fast.
Lumeris.
Oh, the Lumeris are actually a great example. Because so often I see people going like, oh, we were best friends with the Lumières, and now they suddenly declare war on us. If you open the Empire information, there it will be, I think it's called personality traits or something.
Personality: renegade, mercantile, and restless.
Yes, renegade. It says there, right on the tin, that these folks will happily stab you in the back if they stand to gain from it.
Have you seen a mafia movie?
Yeah, basically.
Yes. All right.
So if you get somebody, I think like Emperor Zelvis is pretty loyal if you treat him well. I think the Sophons are pretty good. I think the Unfallen definitely, and I think even Horatio is not labeled as a renegade, but I'm not sure about that.
Unless you like make fun of his head or something like that.
Yeah. And yes, of course, there will always be some border tension, when you're neighboring, but I think that's not unreasonable to have some border tension, because even with countries in the real world, like how,
Yeah.
let's take the example, America and Canada, the neighbors, overall they like each other, but of course there's always these things where, like, one country says, oh, look at how they do this thing, isn't this really bad?
Right. Yeah.
And that's not necessarily hateful, but there's still cultural differences,
Yeah.
so to speak. So I think it's reasonable that there's some tension. The problem I have is that some 4X games, that border friction is just so big that there's no way to overcome it.
Yeah. Shadow Star. Is humankind in the endless universe? Nope. They're separate things.
If you find any reference to Earth in the endless games, that is considered heresy. Please report to your nearest inquisitor.
Here, do we want to what do we want to do here? There's not much in terms of like what we can actually build or construct for these planets, but we can specialize here, perhaps. Oh no, we don't have anybody on here. Oops. So maybe we can do some. What was the ship we were working on? Was it the Sigurds? That was our sort of like main ship. Sigurd and Beowulfs.
Yeah, we want like 2 or 3 Beowulfs, so we can have one. To block the missiles, so to speak, and the Sigurds to deal damage.
Right. All right. So let's do a couple Sigurds and a Beowulf. Let's do that.
Sublisters, if the AI declines proposals, it's possible they are declining because they can't afford it. There's the upkeep of, I think it's 2 influence per population, and if they know they can't afford it, they won't agree. And of course, with the direct trade agreement, they probably won't agree unless they know where you are, because if they don't know where you are, they can't trade with you.
Hot and sterile. We have 3 hot and steriles in a row, so we can do AI labor here. Oh, but we have to colonize this lava planet, so maybe we should do that first, and then some AI labor. Or Al labor. That might be an L. Who knows? And already answered by both streamers. Closest thing would probably be the Vultures. They weren't native to Auriga. Our ancestors spoke of a great journey beneath the stars. Is that your favorite?
Yep.
Um,
Unshackled Owl. Yes, indeed.
yes, exactly. um, okay. Al's a good guy. Muspelheim is done in one, so we can get something else going here. Maybe we should get something that increases our influence a little bit. I don't know if we have anything.
Do we play with the new patch? Yes, the new patch has been applied.
Yes.
Though I'm not sure if all of the fixes are retroactive. Because I know, for example, that any fixes we do to quests don't apply retroactively.
Yeah, I guess it's an old save, so.
Self-improving Al reading all those self-help books.
Yeah.
But yeah. Baka Awful, you're getting a lot of mileage out of that joke. Uh-huh.
Good old Alan. I like influence, so I never disagree with increasing it. Yeah, I think that would be good, but I don't know that we have any improvements that do anything.
So look, there are no specifically quest fixes, but there are fixes to the quest laws, and those may also not be retroactive. I don't know about that.
Back awful. I always milk jokes until they become dad jokes. Well, you know what? That's everybody loves when people do that, so. I milk jokes until they moo at me. That's a good one. Shadow Star. Very good one. Yeah, I don't think we have any influence upgrades here, so maybe let's go for some science. Plus...
I mean, as Vultures, we should always be in favor of science,
exactly.
Right?
Exactly, yeah. Yesterday made a meme about the culture reveal. You made a meme about it?
Oh, so there's. Do you mean the one where you edit in the heckling from the crowd?
Then the no aesthete. Okay.
You made a different one that you didn't post. Yeah, that argument was something to behold. That's true.
Yes. So you'll hold it for a rainy day.
I mean, he's saying he's posting it now.
Oh, you are. Oh, posting it now. I didn't see that under there. Yeah, do it. I'm always in for a spicy new Salterius meme. Throw it in the chat.
I guess it's probably in endless memes. I go to endless memes and I start scrolling, and there's a meme where they turned Zillives into the
Exodia.
What was it? Yeah, the Exodia.
I saw that too. Awesome. Okay, so we got something queued up there. Jotunheim's going nice. Xeno Industrial.
Emblematic units meme.
Meme approved. Let's check this out. Nice. Yes. Man, your culture card making skills are top notch. I love it. I love it. Maybe we can get you as a freelancer to make the rest. Do we want this planet cracker on here still? It's converting, I guess, all the industry into science, and of course science, so it's not all bad.
Got a kick out of you. Yeah, back awful. That was, when they were having that discussion yesterday, and some people were joking about Horatio, and I thought, yeah, I wonder how long is the time to Horatio mod for humankind. But somebody's like, okay, culture, Horatio, affinity, everything, and you just get all of the abilities and all of the fame bonuses.
Yeah.
Because perfection.
Because perfection. Yes. All right. So let's go see what our ships are doing.
Hello, Norbert.
Norbs, what's up, man? You come to redeem a couple smoothies?
Time to ratio, game design metric in Amplitude games. I mean, a while ago I saw what was his name? Soren Johnson, the one behind Old World. He actually tweeted that apparently for Old World, time to Game of Thrones mod was less than a week.
Wow.
Horatio heat maps, Horatio UX.
Maybe a pug kind mod. Yeah.
It's isn't it then probably HX, the Horatio experience?
I'd grab. Oh yeah, Horatio HX. Yes. All right.
I mean, aren't you playing Horatio by assimilating cultures together into perfect culture? Yep. Yeah. I mean, so I've already been saying, I can already see your first playthrough being, okay, Egypt or Nubia, then Maya, then Aztecs, and then, frankly, desperately try to find an early modern culture that builds pyramids, so you can keep going until you hit Vojani.
I woke up to a storm last night at 1 a.m. and the power went out, so I couldn't fall asleep. Norbert, that sucks.
That's rough.
That sucks. I like waking up in the middle of the night to a thunderstorm. I don't know why. I like the pitter patter of rain.
I do like the thunderstorms, but not falling back asleep until 5 a.m.
That's true. Yeah, that part isn't great.
But Soteris, but if you're going Aztecs, I guess what you could do is, I mean, we have teased them in the announcement for the open dev scenarios. Go Japan, and then be Shisho Vojani.
Ooh, that would be juicy, guys. That would be juicy.
I mean, I'm honestly waiting for any ancient era culture, Carthage or Moria, and then Khmer, redacted playthrough for maximum elephants.
I have a question for you, Steph. Are community people included in the credits of a video game, or marketing people? I can't remember if I ever see that.
I'm not sure because let's be fair, I, like many other people, usually don't watch all of the credits simply because with teams of 100 people or with AAA titles often more, the credits take a very long time. So generally I only watched like the credits of indie games, and especially if there's something actually to the credits, like some pictures, concept art, or like pictures from the studio or something, because just the name scrolling by is that just gets lost anyway.
That's true.
But I think they certainly should be, because the communication with the community is very important for a successful game. Also, and especially also taking what the community says back to the production team, because of course them being busy actually producing the video game, they don't always have the time to keep up to date on everything the community says. So it's extremely important to have them to keep an eye on what's going on, like stuff like the discussion about the aesthetes missing in the medieval era. Completely tripping over my words here. Or the discussion they've been having about the names for the different affinity abilities, which I'm pretty sure all of those are placeholder, and it will not be just called Science Mode and Baby Boom in the final game, but those were the names they've seen. But of course, programmers, designers, etc., are probably too busy to read all of the discussions.
Right. Okay. All right. Because I was thinking about that. Have you ever seen that Leonardo DiCaprio meme where he's pointing at the screen? And it's like whenever you see your name on something, or you see like, the meme applies to like when, say, the title of the movie is said in the movie, they'll use that meme.
The name drop.
The name drop. Yeah. I was just thinking about that the other day. Are we going to get the minerals from ES1 to ES2? White Dragon asks. The ones that aren't in the second game? I don't believe so.
The Harmony, no, probably not. I mean, the Harmony exists as actually kind of two different minor factions, because I think the Pulsars are an offshoot of the Harmony, and the Harmony are also in the game as a minor faction, and the Harmony actually have a hero in ES2 as well. Now wait, let me think. I think in ES1 it was copper sulfate ponders, but in ES2 is it iron sulfide? FeSO2? FeSO3? I don't know.
Salterius, who's your favorite band? Sub to their Patreon just for that. Nice, man. Okay. So what were we going for here? We got clerical corrections.
Yes, it was FeSO2 reflects in ES2. So I think that's iron sulfide.
Crowd controller on system -20. Do you remember which one we were going for here? With Petrov?
She's a governor, definitely.
Yes. On Valhalla.
Do we have any governing skills left?
Overseer, Walters. Crowd controller. Russian guide. We have clerical corrections level 2. +5.
I mean, clerical corrections level 2 is not necessarily a bad idea, but there may be others that are better.
Yeah.
But I don't remember all of them. And of course, with the delay, it's hard to tell you, no, check this skill, because you're already going around.
Okay.
They're releasing a music video about the song called Gin Slammer.
Gin Slammer.
Is that a person who slams gins?
Gin Slammer, great name.
And if that person slams gins, do the gins have phenomenal cosmic powers and teeny tiny living spaces?
Donato, what's up? How's it going, man? I got 99 problems, but a lamp ain't one. Are you guys going to play online with the community? That's always something that we've considered, but we've always struggled with finding a way to make it interesting in terms of like making it a stream.
Yeah, the problem is we can't show, the viewpoint of the other parties in the multiplayer game.
Yeah.
And it's also, organizationally speaking, we would need to find a way to always have some community members in the game.
Yeah, exactly. We would love to. We would love to if we could work it out, but it's a little more complicated than just actually starting a multiplayer game. There's some organization involved and stuff like that. But I would love to do that for when Humankind comes out, if we can find a way to do it. Okay, so done that. All this stuff is good to go. So we got the hardened alloys, and now we're going titanium electroplating. So getting some defensive
with a 5
mesh
second turn
modules.
timer. I'm not sure we're ready for that, Norbert.
That would be probably the most stressful stream to watch because I would be freaking out.
If we did that, we would need, it would need to be a team effort. One person frantically plays the 5 second turn timer turns, and the other person actually engages with chat.
Yes, exactly. What's the shortest turn timer you can put on in the game? Is it 5 seconds?
It might be 10. I'm not sure if it can go to 5.
5 is short. Like, what can you do in 5? I'll try. Okay, how about...
turn on the automation?
Yeah, no, exactly. Okay, for next turn, I'm going to do a 10-second turn. And we'll see everything that I get done. But I need to plan ahead. See, you wouldn't have time to, like, actually plan because the turn before was 10 seconds. Oh, yes. Oh, yes, Norbert. Oh, yes. But next turn. This turn, I'm actually going to plan things.
I guess I could, take out my watch here and in the next turn just run a quick 10-second timer and we see how much you get done in 10 seconds.
Okay, yes, let's do that. I won't actually end the turn, but we'll see how much I actually get done. Oh no, you're gonna end the game in this.
A lot of the chat is just, oh no, at this point.
You'd probably lose in a few turns, Rafalon says. Yes. Yes. But you know what, guys? I would love your support in this, okay? Yeah, no. I agree that it would go downhill very fast. But I just like the vote of confidence, So we have...
I could say, hey, some people like going downhill very fast so much that there's entire competitions for it.
That's true. That's very true. Interplanetary transport networks, I don't think so. What's going on over here? Gravitate. Okay. So we have something going pretty much everywhere, so we'll send our ships over. Oh! Where's this? Show location. Oh, some pirates. Well, we gotta retreat. This is not winnable. When I was in first grade, I liked going downhill fast by rolling down a hill. Yeah, me too. I've never gone... My friends always used to like snowboarding. And I never got into it. But I like the idea of going downhill really fast on just like a plank. Looks like you're wearing a party hat. Oh yeah, it does. My TV in the background.
Yeah, at first I thought, what is I talking about? And then I noticed. Yeah.
Oops, caps. I think the caps were pretty fitting, actually. Happy birthday, Canada. This is my Canada Day party hat. I thought that was a hat. That's a TV. This is my TV. This is the back of my TV.
Rogan, you've been exposed.
I have.
Truly, you're actually a robot, and that's actually the interface to program you.
Yeah. That's exactly what this is, guys. Every morning I gotta like press a couple things, and then I'm good to go. Now, very, very astute observation.
But joking, every morning you have to press a couple of buttons makes me think, yeah, I would love to have that. Sometimes I would love to have that mood organ from Android Stream of Electric Sheeps, just so that I could crawl out of bed in the morning and turn the mood to wake up.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, that's one of those things that they didn't have in Blade Runner. That they have this kind of radio device, I guess, where they can dial in the mood they want to be in, and then it affects them.
Oh yeah.
And there's like a whole big scene where what was his name? Rick Deckard, the cop.
Yeah.
His wife set hers to like wistful depression or something like that, where she just sits there and stares at the emptiness and feels bad about the world.
Right.
And he's like, why would you do that? And she's like, because I feel like I owe it to the world, because the world is a nuclear wasteland.
Wow.
And that's like, oh, yeah. I can see why they didn't put that in the movie, because it would be really hard to get across in the same way.
Yeah, no kidding. That's a very... I mean, that book has to be, like, so dark.
I mean, I guess it's less dark than some of the other ones he wrote.
Yeah, he kind of wrote some weird stuff. Right? Hey, like that one, that book is pretty weird. He wrote some
very weird stuff, but as far as dark is concerned, there's A Scanner Darkly, which is way darker.
Yeah, well, it's got it in the name. Has to be.
A Scanner Darkly is about a cop who goes undercover to uncover a drug ring. And this drug, known as Substance D, or Substance Death, has hallucinogenic, wow, tough word, properties and stuff like that. But it also, over the course of use, as you use, like, it's super addictive, and the more you use it, the more your psyche like fractures.
Oh wow!
And as part of his job, when he's at the police station, he has to wear a full body suit that hides his identity, with overlaying images of other people. And the thing is, he goes to the police office, and he sits down at his desk and he watches the surveillance footage, and he is no longer capable of understanding that's he himself he's seeing in the footage.
Ooh.
That's how... Because as part of being undercover, he's actually taking the drug, so he's completely messed up.
Wow. That's crazy.
Yeah, and it's really dark.
Yeah. What is that called again?
A Scanner Darkly.
Okay.
And there's actually, in my opinion, actually a really good movie of it with Keanu Reeves.
Okay. Well, I mean, if Keanu's involved, sign me up.
And it's one of those things that I watched it, and before Keanu Reeves, to me the name just was, that's Neo. And I watched the movie and I was, damn, that performance, like where he's playing an actually crazy guy.
Yeah.
That performance is so much better than playing Neo in the Matrix.
Yeah. White Dragon, when is the next patch gonna come out? It's out. It's out there. The next one after that, probably around a month's time, right? Maybe a little longer. No date attached to that, but it should be soon. I mean, Keanu Reeves can't play much, but I mean, have you ever seen the John Wick movies?
Yeah, I think that's what I mean. Like, since for many people his career started with like the big blockbuster Matrix, and let's be fair, Neo being a chosen one did comes across a bit flat.
Right.
At first, because chosen one stories have been done so many times.
Yeah.
And a lot of the other characters in the first Matrix movie felt like they had more layers to them, like Trinity and Morpheus, and like even Agent Smith.
Yeah, true.
But I think in the end the reputation is kind of undeserved.
Is Are the other two Matrix movies good? I've seen the first one recently, and it's awesome. But I'm kind of scared to go back and watch Reloaded and Revolutions just because...
I mean, I would say they're by no means perfect. And I know some people hate them, but I also don't think they're, entirely awful.
Right.
I think the problem is there are apparently some, plot points in the whole Matrix trilogy, not just in the second and third, that are never really explained all that well.
Right.
In that source material. Apparently there's, other Matrix-related material that kind of explains that. Now I'm working from memory here, I'm not sure if I remember this correctly, is that apparently, enslaving the humans forever was never the intention of the robots, and they had always planned for this chosen one to happen eventually.
Yeah.
Which, suddenly a lot of it makes more sense, because a lot of the Matrix movies feel like, yeah, but the robots could easily stop this.
Yeah. Very true. John Wick movies are great. 2 is my favorite. How about you? I like them all a lot. Like a lot. I think they're like, I love the world building in it. I love this like super sort of these weird characters and sort of like this just sort of really out there storyline. I like the third one the most just because it's so over the top. And like I just feel like after the first two, they're like, let's just dive fully into this and just commit. And I think they did that with the third one.
And Buck Awful saying, to be honest, the Matrix movies are way better if you read them as a metaphor for transition. Yes, I think I agree. Way back when I first saw them, that really didn't cross my mind. But now, I actually recently came across that reading, and the fact that, since then both the Wachowskis have come out as trans. And now, being out myself, looking back at it, yeah, that reading does make sense as, somebody who went from one side to the other.
Yeah. Wait, who came out as trans?
Oh, the Wachowski brothers have been for a few years the Wachowski sisters.
Oh, really? I didn't know that. Wow.
Which,
nice.
I think when the first of them came out, people started reading it as a metaphor for transition. And at that point, I was still very much denying it to myself as well.
Yeah.
So I wasn't, I just kind of shrugged and was like, yeah, maybe. But now looking back at it, after both of them came out and the changes in my life, it's like, yes, I can see that.
Yeah, totally.
Definitely.
The world building of it is great. I still laugh my ass off at the rave scene in the second movie. It's like, I love how some of it is like so awesome that it's like laughable. You're like, are they actually doing this? So at some of those parts, I was laughing so hard at just some of Keanu Reeves's lines are just so like they're like 3 words long, and they're just like I want more guns or something like that. Like it's so funny, those lines, and they're just playing into it so hard, and I love it.
Shadowstar, don't feel bad about never noticing it, because I didn't publicly come out until last Sunday. So yeah, but I do prefer she and her. I know my voice doesn't exactly sound the part. Maybe I can eventually do something about that. But, yeah.
Okay. Dodge this. Yeah.
but yeah, this is... thank you, Black Awful. And yeah, this is, the kind of thing that, I mean, like, a lot of people give a lot of actors, like, crap for their, like, formative roles, when a lot of the times you have to look at it and think, like, let's be fair, they worked with what they were given.
Yeah.
Like, a great performance can't always save a bad script. It's like, with with John Boyega, how so many people just think of him as, you know, that stormtrooper who tagged along in the new Star Wars movies.
Star Wars movies, yeah.
Because it was Rey was the main character, and he was just kind of along for the ride.
Yeah. Yeah,
but
exactly.
Apparently, like a lot of the other things he played, he's apparently way better.
Yeah, he's a great actor.
And like apparently, even in the movie he was in beforehand, he was really good. But that was like a smaller one and people hadn't heard of him.
Yeah. It's called Finn. Yeah, Finn. Yeah, the stormtrooper who just tagged along. That's a funny.
Yeah, but that's kind of the perception I've seen from a lot of Star Wars fans. But in the end, that's not John Boyega's fault. That there were these. As I was saying to others at Amplitude recently, I think it would have worked better if all three of them had been directed by the same director, either all of them by Abrams or all of them by Johnson, because you can tell that the middle one was directed by somebody else.
Yeah, I 100% agree. I would have actually preferred them all to be directed by Rian Johnson. I know that might be a hot take. Maybe that's my hot take of the day, but I feel like as much sort of, I guess, some hate that the second one gets, the Last Jedi. I liked that he took a risk and took it in kind of a weird direction. I would have liked to see this third trilogy go into like a place where I had no clue.
Yeah, that's I think kind of my problem. Like the Force Awakens, that was the first one of the new trilogy.
Yeah,
right?
Yeah.
That one felt very much like it's modeled relatively closely on A New Hope.
Yes.
And then the second one took these bold risks, and it probably would have worked better if they had started taking the bold risks in the first one.
Yeah, I 100% agree.
And Shadowstar, thank you very much for all the kind words. And Frigolit, the Wachowski scene at the end of the Matrix game is just fantastic. We intended the Matrix to be this philosophical journey for Neo, but we realized that kind of sucks for a video game. So have a big old boss fight with Neo Smith instead.
Is that for real? The Matrix game.
I actually played that. What was it called?
Really?
Enter the Matrix. And yeah, it's really like you get to near the end of the game, and then it pops up like this wide space, but there's like a blue and red stick figure. That's the Wachowskis.
Right.
And they're like, yeah, we wanted this, this big spiritual denouement for Neo's journey and everything, but yeah, we have to admit this is a video game, and that kind of sucks. So here I have a boss fight.
Hey, at least they figured it out. That's awesome. I'm gonna look that up on YouTube. Enter the Matrix. Did that come out like alongside any of the movies, or?
I think that came out alongside the second or third movie. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, so is there a sweet fight with like Neo and the big like pole?
I think there's a fight against like the giant Agent Smith or something like that.
Wow, that's hilarious. I want to check that out. I'm gonna YouTube it. Yeah. Enter the Matrix. Anybody play any like obscure games in their childhood or like years ago, maybe on like the PlayStation 1 or PlayStation 2 that you like regard pretty highly, but if you think a bit of it objectively, it was pretty crap?
Obscure games.
I don't know how obscure this game is, but did you ever play Siphon Filter? Have you ever heard of that game?
No.
It was like a spy sort of espionage game, and it was so bad. It was so bad, but so good. The first Siphon Filter. I think there were a couple. And just the controls were so wonky.
Oscar Marcus saying, well, for me, Restar and Billy Hatcher.
What's that?
Well, I mean, Restar, actually, we played that one on stream, and I found that, it was actually fairly reasonable for the age when it came from. I expected it to be, more of this arcade style, where, it's super hard because originally it was designed to get pennies out of you.
Right.
Buck Awful saying StarCraft 1, ooh, shots fired. The story in StarCraft is so puerile, and I liked it so much at the time. I mean, I think the story in StarCraft 1 is serviceable. It's not a great complex story, but for a strategy video game, it works.
Yeah.
But from what I hear, I haven't actually played all the 3 different StarCraft 2 games. But from what I hear, the writing apparently got really confusing there. And at the end, it turns out like that Kerrigan is the savior of the whole galaxy or something. And she comes back as in like this spiritual form to help Raynor. And I don't know.
Horbert says, never got far, but there was this Pets with a Z game called Cats 2. It was a top-down adventure game. I don't know how good, bad the game actually is. I would probably, just by the names alone, go with bad. Also, by the Z at the end of Pets, it's probably bad.
Yeah. Friggle is saying Dragon's Dogma is both my top 10 list and my guilty pleasure. I wouldn't even say that one's obscure.
Yeah, that
one was reasonably successful.
Yeah.
I still haven't finished that because I got stuck at one point where it's like, oh yeah, you need to hunt the griffin in this area, and I went there and I spent like 30 minutes running around the area, and the bloody griffin never showed up, even though it had ruined my day like 5 times before I got the quest.
Okay, I'm looking at victory conditions here. Sorry, I just want to pause on this convo. What do you think we should just push for a science victory here as well? Science victories for both playthroughs?
I think science victory is the only option we have with our situation.
That's true. That's true. Okay. Okay, we'll do that.
Just start saying you need to play Dragon's Dogma again, but you can only have one save and it's infuriating. Yeah, I agree. And there are definitely some parts that they could have improved. Like some of the stuff with like your NPC followers is a bit strange how it works sometimes.
In which, sorry? Which game?
Dragon's Dogma.
Oh, right. I never played it.
Fuck awful. Yeah, StarCraft 2 turned into a soap opera, with the twist being that the surprise pregnancy is a Zergling. Hey. At least, it's only a Zergling. It would be way worse if it was a Baneling.
Okay.
And Shadowstar, sorry, that bigger message slipped by, so let's see. I think this wouldn't work as obscure, but Blue Dragon was my first JRPG, and it has the best combat system in a JRPG I've ever played. 9 classes, and you start with 3 of them, and unlock the other 6 over the 3-disc game. Oh, that was a pretty big game then, I guess. You can switch between them at any time, and they unlock abilities, so you can support other classes when you switch them. Ah, interesting. Story is pretty when I go back, but I love the game so much. Yeah. Yeah, speaking of JRPGs, I what's your opinion on what you've heard of the Final Fantasy VII Remake?
My thing is that I would have loved to play the original game, and I never got into any Final Fantasy game. And I know it's like highly regarded as one of like the best and sort of the most sort of riveting story. Takes you on a quest, but I never played it, and I don't think if I got into this one, I would have that same sort of feeling about it that a lot of other people do for nostalgia.
It's also, when the reviews started coming out, it was all, of course, they weren't supposed to talk about the big twist at the end, etc. And then they talked about all of the other new stuff that's in there, and almost didn't. But why is there so much new stuff when we were expecting a Final Fantasy remake, and doesn't that just drag out the game kind of?
Yeah.
And then of course, not saying Final Fantasy VII can't be improved. It can definitely improve, and it could probably even be tightened in some places.
Right.
But the things with what was revealed later about it, what I heard about it, then I thought, oh, this is actually great because it means that you will have a completely different experience with the old game than with the new one, story-wise, and it doesn't completely invalidate the old game.
Right.
Because like the fact that the new game isn't the same as the old game story-wise is apparently actually part of the story of the new game.
Really?
Yeah. So, I'm not going to go into details here, but there is something about changing fate regarding the new game. So it's like, oh, that's actually kind of clever. Saying
Yeah.
we want to tell a slightly different story, maybe even an entirely different story with just the same starting premise. So we work in this fact that this is not the same story into the story.
Wow. And it's still great? Yeah?
Well, I haven't played it, so I can't judge how great the story is, but it's just, it makes this remake something more, in my opinion, than just have HD 3D graphics.
Right. Yeah. Exactly. You run the entire...
Yep, it's great. You run the entire run of 100.
Yeah.
And Barrett complains about it the whole time, right?
Just 10,000 voice lines of Barrett just complaining.
No, seriously, there's like this place where you can take the elevator or not, and then I think some character reminds, oh, but if we take the elevator, they'll know we're coming because they'll see the elevator controls.
You're right.
And it's like, oh, let's take the stairs, but it's like 60-story building or something, and you need to actually, it's not you go into the stairs and then you come out at the top of the stairs. It makes you walk up all of the stairs.
Is it like a loading screen, like a disguised loading screen?
Maybe it is, but I don't know. And like one of the characters actually does complain as you're going up the stairs about like, oh, we could be up there already, and we wouldn't be tired when we get to the fight.
Yeah. Well, at least it's not just standing in an elevator.
And
I actually don't know what's worse.
From what I hear, they even made voice lines for if you get to the top and then you turn around and walk the stairs back down again.
Like, where are we going? We already got there. All right. Yeah. As I said before.
Yeah, exactly. That's exactly my sentiment. It's great that they do this with FF7 because a straight up remake. What would have been the point? We already played the original.
Yeah, I wanted to start maybe like Assassin's Creed Odyssey or something like that the other night. I was like looking for another game, but I couldn't play another like sort of large AAA game after playing The Last of Us Part 2, just because it's such a long game, and I just commit myself to it, and I just want to like play something a little smaller scale now.
And but by the way, Shadowstar, I think even with the old graphics, FF7 is still possibly worth playing if you can look past it. I mean, if you got the PC version, there's probably even like some HD texture mod out there or something, because if a game is out on PC, there's bound to be an HD mod somewhere.
Okay, objective achieved. Unlock 5 technologies in less than 30 turns. Wow. Good stuff.
Salterius, have fun with your space-themed D&D. And remember, Salterius, use the doors.
Nice. That's awesome. Space-themed. Good luck, my man. Final Fantasy 12. What is everybody's favorite Final Fantasy game in the chat? You guys big Final Fantasy fans? I hear a lot of different ones. I hear like 6, 7, 4, 9. I hear every once in a while.
The only one I ever actually really got to play was 7, unfortunately.
Oh really?
Like I think 8 and 9 were only out on the PlayStation. So I couldn't play them. 10 as well. But 10 I got to try a little bit on a friend's PlayStation. But not the full game, just, a small bit.
Right.
And then, wait, 11 was an online one, right?
Was it like an MMO?
I think 11 was an MMO.
Okay.
And then, the other ones after, I'm not sure if they were out on PC, but at that point it's this whole situation that you mentioned of, oh, this is a huge game, I don't have the time for that. I say putting 600 hours into Endless Space 2.
yeah, exactly. 11 was online. It's so funny how there's no sort of like formula that they go by for these games. It's just like, 11 will just be online, and what's the one that like got a sequel? The numbered one that got a sequel?
That's 10 because there's FF10 and FF10-2.
Right. So that's just hilarious in and of itself. Was 15 the last one or 14?
15. 14 is an MMO, and after that is 15. That's the one where the prince and his entourage are driving around the countryside, so to speak.
Yeah.
Of
that
course,
one.
That's not actually the whole game, but it's when you see reviews and stuff of it, there's a lot of scenes of driving being shown.
Yeah. Yeah. Exactly. 7 is my favorite. 11 was online.
Back off the thing, a game they love, The Longest Journey, got an AL upscaled mod, generative artificial neural network, I guess, that created those textures movies. Even the models look amazing. And I think The Longest Journey, I heard that title before, but I don't clearly remember it. Back off, 15 is Pretty Boy Countryside Fun Adventure. It was lovely.
Yeah.
Over this year, I think 13 got 2 sequels. Yeah, but I thought with 13 it was planned like that from the start, whereas with 10 they made 10 and then they later, or at least at some point during production, they decided to make 10 too.
The Argosy is not fully charged. However, you can colonize this planet immediately. Wait, where is this? Oh. Quest curiosities. Okay. Titanium. Wow. What about Resident Evil? Did you ever play Resident Evil?
I played some of Resident Evil 2 and 3 on a friend's PlayStation.
Okay.
I did play Resident Evil 4 because that one was actually out on PC.
Yeah.
I need to pick up the remakes on PC. I'm not sure are they remakes or remasters. I guess they're more of a remake because I'm pretty sure that what is he called, Mr. X?
Yes.
Wasn't originally in Resident Evil 2.
Yeah. So yeah, they're remakes, those ones.
And I hear they're actually really, really good.
That's what I've heard too.
And I think I own Resident Evil 7 already, but I still haven't gotten around to playing it.
Yeah. One of those games.
5 and 6 is also because they were only out on... Well, I think 6 came out on PC, right? But I hadn't played 5, so I never actually picked up 6.
Oh, okay. Never played it. Not really into that genre. Scary games. I was never into like scary stuff, like scary movies, scary games. I was always kind of a baby about that kind of stuff.
Oh, I actually quite like horror games, but
yeah?
I prefer the ones that are more atmospheric than the ones that heavily rely on what's known as jump scares.
Yeah.
So I prefer something like Soma was pretty good because a lot of the time there's no actual danger to you, but you still have this creepy atmosphere that sets you on edge.
Right. Yeah. Oh, it looks like these guys got to ESSA just before us.
Of course.
Of course. Get your ESSA out of here.
One of the best horror games, Homeworld Cataclysm Emergence. But that's the Homeworld port I haven't actually touched yet because, I think they added it to GOG last year because for a long time it was lost in licensing.
What about Osulo? Actually... No, it's the pirates. We have a pretty good relationship with the pirates.
Yeah, but if there's pirates there, we can't settle it.
No, right. It's right beside them.
I know you mean moving through.
Oh no, but the who's pink again?
Said the Nakalim.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, Atlas, this two planet system. In the middle of nowhere.
Psychana, ooh, shots fired.
SQA. Can I say my favorite horror? Wow, nice.
That's shots fired.
That's a couple shots fired right there. But you know what? Skyrim and Fallout, that's almost like part of the game, the wonkiness of it. Yeah. I feel like they wouldn't have the same sort of magic.
It's funny, you know, I've seen some videos by AI researchers who actually use the Skyrim basket trader exploit.
Oh yeah?
As an example of problems with AI learning.
Wow.
What they're saying is like, basically, if you tell the robot, like, clean up this mess, or guard this shop, depending on how it's defined, you get problems. Like, you tell the robot, guard this shop, and he's like, okay, it's coded, I lose points, or I lose reward, or I get punished when something disappears.
Right.
So he puts the bucket on his head so he can't see if shit disappears. And then he never has to deduct points.
Wow.
And that is something that can actually happen with, you know, badly designed AI.
Right.
It's crazy though. If you look on YouTube about, you know, neural networks and genetic algorithms and all of that, you know, all of those machine learning buzzwords that people like to use.
Yeah.
Then you see stuff like, oh yeah, there's this guy who wrote a physics, or used a physics engine to write something where he makes a little creature and it tries to learn to walk. And like one of the first results he gets is that the AI finds a glitch in the physics systems and just slides across the floor instead of walking. And yeah, of course, this is where the machine learning goes wrong.
Of course, yeah. The issue with Al is that it'll never go rogue. Yeah, it's true. It's always precise. It always does it precisely as it's told, and since we're so dumb, that's horrifying. Yeah.
Yeah.
Al can be scary.
As was it one of my my lecturers at university, or was it one of my maths teachers? They used to say the computer is only ever as smart as its user.
Yeah.
AI immediately learns how to speedrun life. Yeah, basically, because the punishment that guy was using for, you know, not learning to walk was a giant death laser coming from the ceiling and moving across the screen.
That's all. That's all.
So, yeah, and then the AI found this exploit where it, like, crossed its legs and just slid at high speed across the floor.
Tough. Okay. So,
or, I mean, the worst example I heard in one of those videos was there was an AI. They had given it an interface, so it could check the score it had in the game. It was like a simple game, like Montezuma's Revenge or something. You know, one of those old Atari games.
Right.
But the way the interface with the game engine was coded, it could make modifications to the game engine. You know, because it needed to make inputs to play the game.
Yeah.
And the result was that the AI figured out how to hack the score and just enter a very large number.
Oh, wow. Damn. So just entered like the highest number it could, or what?
Basically, yes.
Wow. Doodle Goop. If you accidentally created a sentient self-learning AI, what would you do? Would you embrace it or try to delete it? Try and become friends with it.
The problem with would you delete it is if it's truly a hyper intelligent general intelligence, don't you think it would see that coming?
No kidding. You hit the delete button and you just disapparate. You're gone. It deleted you somehow.
Yeah,
it just found a way.
Pay allegiance to the world's most powerful computer simulation. It's the future. Hail Enfer!
Yeah, exactly.
Fuck off. The best, in my opinion, would be when the AI learned to crash the game. I think there might have actually been one that did that.
An AI that crashed the game?
Yeah.
Wow.
The most horrifying thing an AI can request is access to the internet. Imagine it could multiply across the world and make backups. Yep.
So if we're going for a science victory here, do we just is this
There's
the
one
one that
thing-
we want to get?
This is one we wanted to get to deal with the Cravers, the Advanced Strike Force. But what we need if we want science victory is if you check in the bottom quadrant to the right side of it, there should be some Behemoths modules where we can put it on special nodes and it'll give us a discount on tax.
Oh, so Behemoth Advanced over here. Oh, Behemoth Basic Climatology, Behemoth Analyzers. Okay. So maybe just we go up the tree there.
We need the one that's like -3%. Yeah, this one. Stellar Node Study 2. We need the Behemoth Advanced whatever word is cut off.
Stellar Node Study 2 is the one we need. Okay, so
Yep.
let's just get that.
No, Stellar Node Study 3 is the one. Or is it? Is it 2? No, oh, it's 2. I thought there was an intermediate one. We had
Right.
2%. Yeah, no, this is the one we need. Because then we can stick that on the nodes and then the tech becomes super cheap.
Yeah. Okay.
And of course, this will take some time to get, but when we do, we can... Ideally, we get... What is it? 6 or 7 different behemoths?
Right, yeah.
And then we plug them all on the same node, and then our techs cost like 5%
Good
of
stuff.
what they should cost.
All right. Is there anything else we should queue up after that for science, for top tier science?
Well, anything that gives us a lot of science, because I'm not sure if the reduction module works on the victory text.
Oh, okay. All right, all right. We also might have to do something about our empire influence because we're losing some every single turn here.
I mean, we can probably just cancel a law that we don't desperately need.
Let's check it out. We got Super Tax Act, we got Dirty Hands Act, we got Oracle of Science. Super Tax Act is...
I mean, Super Tax Act is free, and we're not building any crucial improvements at the moment, right?
No, I don't think so.
Then we can probably cancel the Dirty Hands Act.
Dirty Hands Act. Abolish law. All right, plus 49 per turn. That's better. That's a little bit better. Okay, so let's send our ships. Too spooky. Too spooky.
Yeah. The question of AI, self-learning, self-improving AI, can get pretty spooky.
Yeah. Oh, we got a couple Sigurds over here. This will make...
You know, I'm just thinking, with a ship named Sigurd, I can imagine the fun the YouTube auto caption is going to have. It's probably going to claim that we're talking about cigars all the while.
Oh yeah, it's true. Couple stogies. All right. Rogan, you want the researches that are sticking out of the circle? Yeah, I
We need
realize
to get there first, which is why we probably want to grab those discounts.
Yeah, for sure. Discounts all around. Sort of like when you want to buy something online and you go, well, time to look for a discount code all over the internet for 37 minutes. And then you don't find one and then you don't buy it. But you guys have honey? Everybody in chat have honey? Do you know what honey is, Steph?
Not what you're referring to here, no.
It's an extension on Google Chrome that if you have it and you're like buying something on, let's say, Amazon, you just click Honey open, and it searches the internet for a discount code and just applies it to your thing, so you don't have to spend a whole. Yeah, you know what? It kind of creeps me out too, but like I love 10% off.
Honestly, in the end, Google already has that data.
That's true. Yeah, exactly. You're not giving it anything more that it doesn't already have. That it monitors where you shop and go, and I'm not into that. Yeah, I mean, my phone is already listening to everything I say, and it just...
Yeah, it's this kind of thing where, in the end, I have to admit that in modern society, there's no way around that for me.
Yeah. Yeah, it is a creepy idea, but it's also like... what's done is done, you know?
It is too late for resistance. I mean, I guess we could go all we must desist, but anybody who has played Alpha Centauri knows how that ends when you go we must desist on your self-aware colony.
Yeah. Before the pandemic hit, I was gathering money to get a Linux phone, fully open hardware. They have those? I didn't even know that. I was going to get a Google Pixel, but...
It's like, what? You're saying my Google phone with service provided by Google is sharing with Google? What? Yeah, I know, crazy, right?
Yeah.
Yes,
hey, heads up.
Exactly. Self-Aware Colony secret project movie. God, the secret project movies and like the whole personality of Alpha Centauri was so good. If ever we do Endless Space 3, I'm going to campaign so hard inside the studio to get like tech quotes by the different leaders on the tech tree.
That would be super cool.
So much about the different leaders. It's like, you know, you probably never played Alpha Centauri, right?
No, I never have. I heard of it, but I've never.
There are things like, for example, one of the early game technologies is something called unlocks something called the recycling tank. The recycling tank means that instead of burying or cremating your dead, you throw them in there to recover their nutrients.
Wow.
And then the quote that plays when you get that is like this leader of what's called the Hive, which is a society that's very much focused on, oh no, and the individual rights are not as important as the group. We must all put aside our individual desires to work together, which is of course not necessarily a super pleasant society to live in.
Yeah.
But you know, on a planet where there are worms that will burrow into your ear and kill you with nightmares, maybe that's a reasonable approach.
That's literally the worst thing I've ever heard.
Yeah, and so the tech quote is like, it's him, and he's going like, it is every citizen's final duty to go into the tanks, and like he makes this dystopian society sound so reasonable.
Yeah.
But then there's this other guy, Mabuda K. Morgan, who's like super capitalist, and then there's a tech quote where you've invented like wreck and rovers, you know, fast scout cars.
Right.
And there's this quote about like this scout car pilot who saved the colony by driving right into a boil of these mind worms, you know, that burrow into your mind and kill you with nightmares.
Ugh.
And the quote is like a marketing guy from his company going like, oh yeah, we definitely want to market rover pilot Jack or whatever it was called, but we'll skip the agonizing way he died screaming his lungs out because that's not good marketing material.
Right.
It's like, it's so awful, but it has so much personality.
Should we toss a planet cracker over here? Because I don't think there's anything else to build.
Like awful, yes. The network node. Oh god. That one won't make much sense unless you've heard it.
What's that?
the lines Bakoffel just posted, they have to be read in that marching cadence that the U.S. military uses. It's like, I don't know, but I've been told Deirdre's got a network. Because the Spartans, the super militarist faction, are making fun of the other factions for being into science.
Nice. Wow. Bakoffel, you're just on it today.
It's even like I've heard people say like, oh, the sound design is so uninspired, you forget it. But I disagree. Like, if you play me a sound from like the UI of Alpha Centauri these days, I will still recognize it, and I haven't touched that game in years.
Yeah.
Alpha Centauri has so many super memorable quotes. Gameplay wise, was good, especially for its time. But it's the lore and theming that really makes it legendary. Yeah, it's so great, and it's like. Alpha Centauri already had, the same as Auriga is alive. The planet was also alive, and the whole reason why these worms would, kill you with psychic attacks was like the worms were like part of this combined nervous system / immune system of the planet, of this superorganism enveloping the planet.
Whoa.
And like one of the victory conditions is actually understanding how this works, because usually it happens in cycles, and like it grows and grows and grows until it awakes and then kind of consumes itself and goes back into like a primitive state. You need to understand enough to meld the planet mind with the human psyche and transcend your feeble mortal existence, basically.
Wow. Feeble mortal existence.
It's crazy.
Okay, so what do we got here? I'm just zipping around the galaxy with this guy, trying to get some of these curiosities. Is that over there?
Yeah, sometimes I'm thinking we should maybe do. Paradox Interactive was doing that for a while, where they had a special Friday stream where it was called Paradox Plays the Classics, where they were just the different game devs were like showing off games that influenced them when they were young.
That would be cool. I would love to do something.
And I would love to show off Alpha Centauri, because that was probably what really got me into 4X games. Like the first 4X game I tried was Call to Power, which was pretty good, and then I got to try Alpha Centauri, and that world building just sucked me in so much.
Yeah.
And today's stream has temporarily removed the dark cloud over my mood. Well, I'm happy to hear that.
I love that a lot. These streams are. They're not always like on the topic of Amplitude games, but I also don't think they always have to. It's fun to just chill
think
out.
It's a cool hangout with our community.
I love it.
Like, because let's be honest, I don't feel qualified to give actual gameplay tips. I can explain how the mechanics work.
Yes.
But I'm not good at playing them.
Well, you know what? Neither am I, clearly. But we got all you guys here as well. Rogan, this is your chance to play your Hot Wheels game or whatever it was. Hey, you know what? Let's get it going. Let's play some Hot Wheels. I don't know which game you're actually referring to, but I'll play a Hot Wheels game.
Yeah, today's various topics have been great fun. Yeah, I mean, I think we generally keep it at least on topic of gaming, and I think that's important to our community, because they come here for gaming.
Yeah. And
not for. I mean, I could ramble about my tabletop gaming or something, but that's not the kind of gaming they're here for. We could ramble about TV shows or books or something, but generally also not what people are here for, I guess.
Yeah. I would like to play some 4X games like that have been really influential on the genre. Or like even strategy games that have been really influential, especially for people on the team.
Dude, honestly, I had actually many years ago considered, filming my painting and putting that on YouTube as, tips or guides for people, because I have done some work that's pretty good, but the problem is I could never figure out how to place the camera to actually film it.
Yeah, that's always such a struggle, finding a place to actually do it, because you need some space if you're gonna film.
No, it's not just the space. Like if you do this for a painting tutorial, you want it to basically be from your own perspective,
right?
So I imagine like Games Workshop have their own like tutorials on their own channel, and they used to be by a person called Duncan, which the Warhammer community jokingly calls Lord Duncan.
Okay.
Because of his painting tutorials. He's not with them anymore now, but it was just he had this really like friendly, outgoing mood to it.
Love it.
But the way the shots of him painting were actually painting were filmed, I always had the impression that like they filmed him at the table first for the shots, and then they filmed the actual painting with like the camera somehow perched on his shoulder.
Or like he's going around it, like he has a tripod set up in the middle of him and he's just like reaching
or something like
around it, like a hug. Pretty much you got to have a camera aimed at your chest. Well, yeah, maybe he has that GoPro chest mount. You know that extreme like snowboarders
Eric
have?
07, the reason to colonize the planet and take all of the pop off it is that system improvements that say per planet work even if there's nobody living on the planet. So you may want to reassign them to somewhere where they give less approval penalty, or they give you more of a resource you want. Like maybe we colonized a lava planet, but we actually need science, so we move them back to Arctic. And also you do get the luxury and strategic resources. Oh, speaking of disapproval, could you scroll back over to Muspelheim?
Yep. Ooh. All right.
Yeah, that's a little something brewing there.
They're not that happy here. Okay. Wow. So I guess we gotta make them happier. Throw some candy at them or something.
But no, this is actually a great demonstration of this. We have people here on ash planets and lava planets.
Right.
But we also have a desert planet. So, like, take the one guy of the lava planet, and move him over to the desert planet. And we should already see that it goes up from 10% to, like, probably more like 15, yeah?
Yeah.
So we can possibly even shift people from the lava planet into the overpop slots on the desert planet and still be fine. And but it's already, like, we went from rebellion to unhappy. So it's no longer a risk that they overthrow us.
Right. Okay.
And this is why you may want to move people back to where they came from. Yeah, see, it's still better. We're up to 21, so yeah, I think the one from the ash planet. No, it'll still, because that one's already in an overpop slot, so we want to move that one also over to the desert.
Yeah. Do we want to terraform? Yeah, Rathlon, that's what I was thinking as well.
Yeah, we probably want to terraform up. Can we terraform the desert planet up?
Terraform to arid?
Yeah, back awful. They're not going to rebel against us. They're just going to be very angry on social media.
Yes, exactly. They'll be a bit toxic.
On HoratioNet.
Yes. HoratioNet, yeah.
The thing's, arid doesn't give us more happiness, but I would still go arid because we want to head to the warm planets, the hot planets, because those have the most industry.
Okay, so we'll terraform to arid. Do we want to terraform anything else, or this is?
Well, ideally, we probably want to upgrade, especially the tiny lava planet we have there with just 2 people on it, like Muspelheim 1.
Sorry, what was that?
Muspelheim 1. That planet is like tiny.
Right.
We can fit 2 people on it.
Yeah.
So terraforming this one up will make a huge difference, because I think like the most fertile tiny planet has like 8 slots instead of 2.
Right.
Or something like that. So that's a huge gain if we can get that up to like jungle or atoll or something.
Okay. So
that planet is a broom closet. Yeah, but back off, but it might be Bender's broom closet because we can fit 2 people in there, not just 1.
Yeah. Okay. So we'll bring that up to a desert as well and see what happens.
Yeah. And you can already see on the, like, if we go to desert, we already get 4 population instead of 2.
Right. Okay.
So that's already huge.
There we go. Start with the big lava planet. Yeah, do we want to do this lava planet as well?
Yeah, I think so. And I'd actually say we terraform the lava planets before we terraform the desert planet.
Okay. So we'll do that. And then I'll do the big one first, I guess. Start with the big lava planet. And there you go. Cool. Yeah, exactly. All right. And now, is anybody unhappy anywhere else? They might be. They're not happy here either. Is there anything that we can do to increase the happiness over here?
Increase the happiness here. I don't think we have any. I mean, there's one thing we can do.
What's that?
There's a law to boost happiness, and it's free. I mean, it has a drawback as well, but it doesn't cost influence.
Okay. And we have a slot. Is that... Which one is that?
What's it called? Toys for Boys?
Toys for Boys. Okay. And then minus 10% industry. That's fine. I think it's cool. Yep. Let's pass that.
I think the 10% lost industry will be more than compensated by many of our systems moving up in happiness status. We also have the Senator Bob Act, which gives happiness, I believe.
Senator Bob Act?
Oh, and we have super tax. Oh, super tax gives a penalty on happiness as well.
Oh, yes, it does.
So we should probably get rid of that, if we can.
Abolish law, and then...
And before we pass another law, we need to check our dust income now.
Oh, yes. Plus 18 a turn. Wow.
Okay, we're still in the positive. That's fine then.
Yeah.
I was worried we'd be like way in the negative now. It's Senator Bob, the last one of the neutrals.
Senator Bob. Okay.
And that should give us like happiness per person or something like that.
Is this gonna bring our dust? Ooh. Minus 94. Well, we can fix that. That's fixable. Why does passing laws take up so much more upkeep than it seems it will?
Well, the thing is, of course, you know, the upkeep preview it gives you at the bottom is your current population, but as your population grows, they'll get more expensive. Wow. The laws have amazing names. If I remember it, I'll forward that to Jeff.
They're ecstatic over here now. That's nice.
See, that's the big difference. So yeah.
Yeah. Wow. Okay. Our systems are pretty good on happiness now. Now we got to fix this minus 94 deficit of dust. But I think we can fix that. What can we do here? We got xenotourism agencies happening over here. So that's okay. Should we maybe colonize some of these other planets in this system? Juyin?
I mean, I guess we could colonize the gas giant, but that will be pretty small at the moment, I think.
The gas...
I was thinking of the gas worm because that one's purely dust.
Okay.
It's like 30 dust per person or something.
Yeah. Dust improvements can help. Ludus? Yeah. Okay. And we can also do specializations as well, yeah?
Yeah, we could. But I think actually, you know, as some of our planets get terraformed up to deserts, we'll probably also get more income from that.
Right. Okay. Cool. Great. Love it.
Yeah, Doodle Goop, I agree. I've seen some sneak peeks of what Tops is working on. It's great.
The laws have amazing names. They do have amazing names. I noticed that. Let's check them out. One of my favorites is Star Boogie Bill. I'm naming my child Boogie Bill, no matter what.
I think my favorite is the fact that the scientists have a laws that's just called mine's bigger.
What is that one?
It's plus 33% damage on weapons.
Nice. I like that.
Cops cannot be stopped. Once
True.
it gets up, I guess. But
Yeah.
no, I understand. I've been in the oh my god, my sleep schedule is completely off situation, where it's like, oh, I can't fall asleep until like 8 a.m. and then you sleep all day and you wake up again at 6 p.m. or something.
Yeah. That's tough.
I mean,
It's very dusty in a desert.
Mostly I was there in the time when I had to work in that factory, because sometimes I had to work not night shift but late shift, and that the shift ended at like 1 a.m. and then I still had to get home, so it was like, oh yeah, it's 4 a.m. I can finally get to bed.
Did you ever do like really early shifts?
That was the worst part of it. I didn't have only late shift. It was like late shift 1 week, and then you finally start getting used to the whole, oh, I work until 1 a.m. and then I get to bed at like 4 something.
Yeah.
And then the next week it's early shift where you start at 6 a.m. and it's like, no.
And you can never get used to it.
You can never get used to it. I was tired all of the time.
Yeah.
I would have, if it had been always early or always late shift, the job probably would have been way less tough.
For sure. Yeah, because your body can't acclimate to like the routine.
I mean, the job itself was pretty routine, but
Oh, was it? Just factory work?
It was literally assembly line work.
Oh, wow. You just had your job, you passed it along, and you... Wow. Well, I could always go to sleep at 7 a.m. Yeah. Sleep's tough. I'm fortunate. I don't really struggle with sleep. Like, when my head hits the pillow, I'm gone. But sometimes that sucks because sometimes I just don't want to go to sleep.
Dulgup saying, one tiny thing they'd love to see in ES3 or EL2 is different HUD colors or design, depending on faction. Like Horatius UI would be all shiny and gold, and I guess emerald. Horatius UI would be perfect. Best UI, yeah, of course. Yeah, I agree, but I think you need to be kind of careful. You need to find a balance there because, like, I think the way StarCraft did it, that's the furthest you can go with it.
Right.
Like, they had the slightly different skins for like the Protoss, Terran, and Zerg on the borders of the UI. But there were some games that, actually on Civ Fanatics, where they were talking about Humankind, they brought that up. There was like Birth of the Federation had different skins for like the Romulans, the Klingons, and whatever, and it was actually partly really hard to read because they put in so much decoration. It was difficult to see the relevant information in it. One that I actually quite liked was in Earth 2150. Like, the UI always had like this kind of metal feel, but for the three different factions, they still adapted it a bit. So, you know, like the Luna Corporation, which was this super high-tech faction coming from the moon, they of course had this like super clean, sleek-looking metal.
Whoa. Okay.
Whereas the guys who were still using tanks that would have not looked out of place in World War II, had this more like rusty colored metal.
Whoa.
Back off, LC hype, yes.
It's a tough balance, especially if you move things around. Yeah.
So back off. I guess the Luna Corporation was your favorite. I mean, just honestly, the Luna Corporations were the ones that were closest to the good guys in it, I guess. For context, like the premise of that game is Earth is kind of spiraling out of control. And,
okay.
You know, the apocalypse is coming.
Yeah.
And that's all the result of a nuclear war between the Eurasian dynasty and the, what were they called? The UCS, United Canadian American States or something?
Oh.
And the Luna Corporation, they were just, you know, they were on their moon base there doing their research, and then those two mega powers on Earth completely ruin everything. And then they're like, Yeah, well, wonderful. Now we have to build this giant colony ship to GTFO. Thanks, guys.
Yeah, yeah. Wow.
Union of Civilized States. Yes, that's the one. The Canadian American states is Shadowrun.
Oh, okay. Union of Civilized States. Okay.
And yeah, it was like the ED were like, you know, traditional tanks with like tracks and like normal cannons and rocket launchers, and the UCS was like mechs that were AI controlled, and you had like plasma weapons and stuff like that. And then the Lunar Corporation was all like tracks, legs, touching the ground is so last century, and had like all hover tanks and like electro guns and sonic weapons and super high tech stuff.
I love that. That's
yeah,
awesome.
the factions are all amazing, and I'm just saying, like, the LC are kind of the ones who got screwed by the other two.
Signals from the system.
But you know, the intro videos were also so cool, where it's like the UCS is like, it's just like showing missiles being manufactured, and then the slogan at the end is just, "Do you want to launch them? Join the UCS as a commander."
That's awesome.
Like, so industrial military complex.
What's it called again?
The game is Earth 2150.
Earth 2000.
Or I guess Earth 2150 if you want it to be a little easier to pronounce.
Right.
And there's actually 3 different ones. Like Escape from the Blue Planet was the original one. Then there's the Moon Project and Lost Souls. And yeah, there was Earth 2140, but that was kind of just a CNC. Well, as much as I hate the word clone, it was very similar to Command & Conquer.
Okay.
And 2160 had some cool ideas, but I found the implementation to be a bit lacking.
Okay. 2160 has the best gameplay? Okay.
Yeah, like there were very cool gameplay ideas, but when I played 2160, I was also having some, you know, issues with the UI responsiveness and stuff like that.
Sublustrous, you think pets? Okay.
Yeah, I mean, we were having issues with our happiness, so yes, it's justified.
Very true.
Oh, you hate our government? Here, everybody, have kittens.
Make friends, not food. Very
yes,
good.
Exactly.
Very good point. Okay, so we'll probably just leave it there, I think.
Oh, right, it's already... Oh, wow, I didn't notice how late it was.
Yeah, no kidding. Good stream, guys. Honestly, everyone give themselves a pat on the back, because that was...
Also, before we forget, Frigolid, you guys really need to stream a playthrough of Love Thyself, a Horatio story someday. Yeah, but I feel, you know, for that we would probably need to get somebody with an amazing reading voice.
Yes.
On stream.
I think that would be awesome. Yeah. But I do like the idea of maybe branching out for a couple streams and maybe playing some classic games. Maybe on the topic of like 4X or at least strategy or something like that.
That could be cool. And oh god, I so badly want to just dive into Fall from Heaven 2 on stream.
Yeah, we should.
That is possibly the most amazing mod ever made for a 4X game.
Yeah. That would be cool.
It's so good. Oh.
I think that's relevant. I think we could do it. Yeah.
I mean, it's certainly relevant in the fact that, you know, the person who made that mod is now, I think, vice president of creative direction or something fancy at Stardock.
Oh, really? Cool. That's awesome.
Fall from Heaven 2 for Civilization 4 Beyond the Sword.
Yeah.
Just because it's a fantasy mod and it's amazing. All the factions play differently. Like, maybe not quite as crazy as in Legend, but they play very differently given, you know, what it was built on. But on top of that, I think 7 different religions they have in game also have different effects. And not just, oh, this one gives you +1 culture and this one gives you +1 science.
Yeah.
But actual different effects. Like, one of them has, like, you don't get priests, but all of your sneaky backstabbing assassins and all of that, they can spread your religion because this is, you know, the sneaky shadow religion.
That's awesome.
Stuff like that. It's so cool.
Okay, I'm just gonna save the game here. Poor choices, of course. Overwrite it. Yeah. So yeah, everybody, lots of ideas. What we were talking about last stream is we're gonna do a poll for Endless Legend, just to see what your favorite faction is, so that for next playthrough, because this playthrough that we're doing on Thursdays is just about done. So we want to get your, we want to hear what you guys have to say. So, we'll put that poll
and
up.
now, just as we're wrapping up, the Sega channel shows up.
Sega official channel. Wow, guys, say hi to Sega. Sega's a little late. Hey, you know what? When Sega arrives, that's on time. It's like a wizard. What's up, guys? Yes, we came to say goodbye. Exactly. Well, thanks for stopping by. Quick stream, another hour. Should we go another hour? I gotta go eat dinner, unfortunately.
Yes, I also need to consume some food.
Yes, exactly. But so just a couple housekeeping before we go. We will be posting a poll, Endless Legend, on who your favorite faction is, and whichever faction wins, we'll play as next playthrough. So, another hour upvote. Yes. So, yeah, guys, look out for that. That'll be on our Twitter account at Amplitude, and I think that's pretty much it. We'll be back tomorrow with some Endless Legend. We're still going strong with our Draken playthrough. So
at least we think we're going strong.
Yeah, you know what? Honestly, anything can happen in that playthrough. So, Morris Michael, we're from, the studio is based in Paris. I'm from Canada originally, and Steph
I'm originally from Germany.
is from Germany, yes. Neither of us speak great French, but we're getting by. We're hanging out here. So
it's funny how everybody says, "Oh, the grammar is so difficult," and I'm like, this fits into my understanding of grammar. But then again, I studied like abstract and theoretical grammar and stuff like that at university. So,
yes, yeah.
But I just can't remember the words.
Me too. French only stream next week. That would be an incredibly uninteresting stream. Or maybe it would, seeing me struggle through French.
It would be a very quiet stream.
Yeah, exactly. Je ne mange pas. Yes. Me neither.
Well, I'd hope you don't. If I'm reading that right, je ne mange pas 6 jours. That's I haven't eaten in 6 days.
Yes. It's a lot of Rogan going, that's already the streams, so you'd just be getting like 10 times more Anyway, okay. We gotta go eat.
Yeah.
Thank you guys
tomorrow.
so much for hanging out. Yeah, we'll see you tomorrow for some Endless Legend. Bye. Have a good night.